What is up? Oh. 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 What is up? What is up? What is up? Game over Edmonton. We are live from Match Pub and Eatery in downtown Edmonton in the Ice District. It's Avry here with Ash, and we're going to be doing a few different things tonight. For starters, we're doing a pre-game show before Edmonton and Vegas Game 3. It's loud. The fans are hyped. Ash, how you feeling today before Game 3?
Dude, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really, really good. Now, there is one bit of news. After the last game, Calvin Pickard is day to day. Stuart Skinner is going to be starting this game. But can you remind me what happened the last time Stuart Skinner came in the playoffs after taking a few games off? What happened, Avery?
Stuart Skinner bounced back greatly against Vancouver Canucks, had a great performance, and it catapulted Stu into having a strong performance against the Dallas Stars in round 3 in the conference finals. And historically, Stuart Skinner has been a great goaltender against the Vegas Golden Knights. So while, yes, this season has not been Stu's greatest, and yes, he's struggled against the Golden Knights, he's been phenomenal.
Oh, definitely. And I think if you're an Oilers fan, I think at least I'm definitely excited for Stuart Skinner to come in. We know he's a very confidence-based goalie. We know that he struggles. He has hot streaks, cold streaks. But now is the time where we're going to get, I think, a really nice hot streak coming in. I think we're going to be treated to a very good game. And we have a chance to go up 3-0 on the Vegas Golden Knights, Avery. Nothing. That's so exciting.
Mm-hmm. And also, other notes in this game tonight, no Brady McNabb for the Vegas Golden Knights, a big piece. He's not playing this game tonight. And what's funny is that pregame, so Trent Frederick and Nick Roy did talk today in the pregame pregame availabilities today. And again, Trent Frederick, his opinion was, you know what, it was a hockey play. It is what it is. And Nick Wahl, he said again, he wasn't trying to hurt Trent Frederick. He admitted, it might have been a silly play, trying to go for a puck. His first instinct was try to track the puck. It didn't work out for him, and he was fined just under $8,000.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, if you get a hearing, which almost always leads to a suspension, but if you get a hearing, it was over the phone, so not in person, the actual amount that you can get fined is more. So that's why Wahl was fined. Is it Wahl or Roy? I always go Wahl because Patrick Wahl, but he might be American.
It is Wahl. Nicholas Wahl.
It is Wahl. It is Nicholas Wahl. Okay. So he gets fined. What is it? $7,800,
yes,
which is the maximum allowed when you get an over-the-phone hearing. I know some people I heard were saying, "Oh, well, it's the playoffs that can go up." No, it's because of the hearing. As for my opinion, I think he probably should have gotten a game. Yes, there's no malintent. Connor McDavid and Tyler Myers both got 3 games in the regular season for a very similar play. I think, yes, even if he does get his wires crossed, he's trying to cross-check the puck. I think it doesn't matter. I think he should still get a game misconduct and a 1-game suspension. But I saw somebody say this. I think Vegas went to their argument was that there was no call on Arvidsson, which you could kind of say was a reckless play, a similarly reckless play that led to an injury. And so I think they're arguing that that wasn't called, and then that led to no call, which led to a goal. And we know how much the NHL and George Parros and Department of Player Safety really likes parity and equality, even if it's not fair. I think that, I don't know, I'm not too bothered, but I do think it deserved a game overall. That's my take.
Yeah, no, I agree. If he got a game, I think Oilers fans and Golden fans would have agreed they deserved probably one game for that. And to Wah's credit, he didn't try to back away from it. He admitted that, he's got to be more aware of who's around him.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen again. I will give Nick Wahl credit. He was remorseful. He said, hey, that shouldn't have happened. It was a dumb play. So now the focus goes forward to Game 3 tonight, Ash. And we're seeing again, same lineups for Edmonton in large part. The lineups are the same. And again, Edmonton, the big key we have seen in this series has been Edmonton's depth has been able to score. And that's going to be a big thing again, I think, for Chris Knobloch, relying on all four lines again, Ash.
Yeah, I think the main concern is, McDry's performance. How is Leon Draisaitl going to perform? He was noticeably slow and immobile and maybe possibly injured in the previous game. And so how is that top line going to fare? But I think, if that's our main concern, I think Oilers, we're chilling. We're so happy. We are, dude, we have a very deep roster. We have, I think, one of the deepest forward cores as they're playing right now, with people like Evander Kane stepping into the lineup. Connor Brown finally playing like he was promised now that he's 100% healthy. Even our fourth line with Arvidsson and Podkolzin is getting us 2 goals. I think we're so happy, and I think if somebody gets injured, we have Jeff Skinner waiting on the bench. We're totally fine. I'm just really excited about this roster, right? I don't know. During the regular season, I was a lot more worried. If you caught a lot of my shows, you definitely noticed that I was stressing out about our roster changes, but I did not know that they would be turning it up like this in the playoffs. It's pretty sick. It's pretty great.
No, it's great to have it. You mentioned right there someone who hasn't checked in since Game 1. If you got to go to him, going to the emergency Jeff Skinner isn't that bad at all.
No, 100%. And I think, I don't know, in my ideal lineup, Jeff Skinner's in this lineup. He's playing on the top line. It's McDavid and Skinner, and, maybe it's Draisaitl, maybe it's Hyman. I love Jeff Skinner. I want to see him play. I want to see him play in the playoffs. I think he can deliver. Maybe it's Jeff Skinner, Corey Perry, McDavid. But right now, it's hard to argue that anybody should come out of the lineup for Jeff Skinner. I think I'd probably argue Trent Frederick. But at the end of the day, we're mincing words over someone who's gonna get 8 to 12 minutes a night. Not that big of a deal, right? So.
Yeah, and it is tough because when Jeff is given those minutes, he's showing he can produce. If Jeff Skinner played 82 games this year, Ash, he would have easily been a 20-goal guy. He had 17 goals in limited minutes over the season.
Yeah, and we're talking about a guy who's getting 8 to 12 minutes a night when he was playing. We're not talking about a guy who is playing 18 minutes a night and then is struggling to score 20 goals. We're talking about a guy who hit 20 goals despite playing on the fourth line, playing really difficult opposition roster with getting scratched, very little trust from the coach. When Jeff Skinner is a guy who excels most when he's playing with playmakers, right? That's kind of why we signed him. So I'm not concerned. Even though he hasn't played in a few weeks, I think especially as an Oilers team, and every team tends to get banged up going through the playoffs. I think that if somebody gets injured and the Oilers can insert Jeff Skinner, I think that's really scary for a lot of these teams that are left.
Yeah, no, it truly is. And we got some comments here in the Game Over Edmonton chat. Our friend, our fellow host from Edmonton, Austin Hockey, tapping in. Austin,
bring it.
Yes. He's bringing a lot of subscribers to the Game Over Network.
Yeah.
He has been.
I love Austin. First time I I found out about his channel was like last year, I think, during the playoffs. No, he's a great dude, and usually after like games, I'll go and I'll watch his reaction to like the game. Great stuff. I like as always, you know. Like I love the guy.
Wonderful content.
Yeah.
Great content. Also, Game Over Montreal says, "What's up, Montreal? How y'all doing?" I'm gonna guess that's probably K at the controls for Montreal. I'm gonna take a wild guess to say it's probably K.
Very common. Very common.
Seb Charb, WTF. I know we're doing a pregame show, Seb. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And we're live. We're live on the stage down here at the Grand Villa Casino. The match tied right next door to Rogers Place. It's pretty nice.
No, it is. And right now, and this is a place where I've been doing shows here for years. I've been coming here for a very long time. And during playoff game days last year, when this team won, no worries. When this team went to the Cup final, inside here was chaotic.
Oh, really? I've actually never been down here. It's my first time in the location. So like that's really cool. Cause like one of my favorite parts of like watch parties of the Oilers playoffs is how, you know, amazing like the city gets, how just excited everybody gets, how like you can walk like in a 5-block radius, 10-block radius, like in any restaurant downtown, and it's like packed full of people who are losing their minds over the Oilers. So the fact that we get to do shows like downtown down here is really, really sick. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, no, it is amazing. And now you look at this team, this Edmonton Oilers team, with a chance to go up 3-0. I think the biggest thing is right now for this team, Ash, don't give the Vegas Golden Knights hope. And that's a big thing where people are already talking about, you know, this game is lost, this game is done.
Yeah.
All this team needs from Stuart Skinner is just an okay game. You don't need Stuart to say, you don't need Stuart to steal the game. You don't need Stuart Skinner to have a 55-save performance. You just need Stuart Skinner to make a big save now and again to put Vegas down 3-0.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like we saw the reactions of all the Vegas Golden Knights after that game. We saw Mark Stone and Bruce Cassidy going to the refs and being like, "This loss is on you." Like they also didn't have an entire overtime to score a goal. My bad that you have to start relying on, you know, your own team to win games instead of the refs. Welcome to the real world, buddy. It's tough out here.
Yeah, no, it is very tough. And, you know, although one thing I'm still concerned about with this team, Ash, is the power play.
Yeah.
Because we saw off that Nick Roy penalty, a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. Edmonton had a 5-minute power play. It felt right there that, yep, this game is over. They didn't score. They didn't score in that 5-minute major.
Yeah, no, and like we talked about this if you caught the last show, we were talking about the fact that for some reason on the road our power play is ass. It is straight ass. It is so bad, and part of that is Draisaitl's injury. And to me, a big part of that is the fact that Nugent Hopkins, an excellent third option, is just not being utilized when we're on the road. But at home, which we are today, 5 for 6. And yes, we don't get penalty calls. We actually have the lowest penalty ratio of any team in the playoffs so far. We don't get as many calls because we have McDavid and Draisaitl on the team. But now we're at home and we're like 86% on the power play, so I don't think we got much to worry about there.
Yeah, no, we will definitely see how the game is called today, because if Edmonton gets a mad advantage on home ice, things are going to flip, and they're going to flip hard for the Oilers against Vegas tonight, Ash.
Oh, no, definitely. And Kay and Chat says Larkin's been bad the entire playoffs. Yeah, it has been. Like,
yes.
It's not like the refs are biased towards the Oilers or biased towards the Knights or biased towards the Kings. The refs, this year, compared to any other year, have just been terrible. Absolutely terrible. They're missing calls. They're letting stuff go. Department of Player Safety lets Sam Bennett run over every single Toronto Maple Leaf there is, tries to kill him. No calls, no penalties, no fines, no anything. It really is like a disgusting display of what should be a league that, you know, values its star players. No other league acts like this. Can you imagine if in the NBA they just stopped calling fouls in the fourth quarter? Fouls were just like no more free throws, because that's unfair. You know, people are shooting like 80%, 90% from the free throw line. That's kind of an unfair way to get points. No, they don't do that. They actually call more in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But why is the NHL like this?
It is silly, and it's funny because could you imagine NBA? Oh, Steph Curry, you want a foul call? Nah, we're not gonna call anything for Steph Curry. Nah, you gotta fight for it. You got to fight against the G League call up to get a call.
Yeah,
like, that
no,
would make
no, quite literally, it doesn't make sense. Imagine if Draymond Green just was allowed to just assault anyone on the court after the fourth quarter, like at any time. Like that's what the NHL is like. And yes, we are a contact sport.
Yeah.
We do have fighting, and we don't want to take away any of that.
No.
That's actually like a huge part of why hockey is, the best sport in the world. But this isn't making hockey like soccer. This is not like taking fighting out of the game or taking hitting out of the game. This is like reckless and dangerous plays that do nothing but injure the people that we love to watch, that we pay good money to support all year and go watch. We don't want to make hockey any less physical. We want to make it safer for the people who play it.
No, exactly. I mean, a great example we saw in the Toronto, Florida series, the Anthony Stolarz situation.
No, exactly.
Yeah, where, yes, you take a shot off the mask the first time, but the second time, that Sam Bennett play looks like, the accidentally on purpose, injury. Yeah. Our mic is.
Make sure it's like facing like
There we go. There we go.
Like, hold it more than.
Oh, on the fly mic adjustments, y'all.
Yeah. No, we only got one mic out here for the pregame in the first period, maybe even the second. So like, we are making do. We are making shit work.
No, exactly. But you know what? Hey, end of the day, we got the stream up. We're happy to be here.
No, we're so happy. This is so.
Yes, and later on, Graham will be joining us for the shows,
and we'll get the triple threat.
Yes, which is rare. Like that's the one thing we have not had. We have yet to have in this era of Game Over. We've yet to have all of us, including Austin, on the show at one time. That's yet to happen.
Yeah. No, and that's something that I definitely like to make happen. But I mean, Avery's done a billion shows. I've never been out here, so I'm sure this is just another day at the office for him. But I'm having an absolute blast, and the game hasn't even started yet.
No, exactly. No, I think it's fun coming out here and doing these kind of live shows and looking at and I've said before on the show, but someone who I have again had to say, full credit, he stepped up in this post. He's been Evander Kane. He's come into this lineup, after game 1 against LA. I didn't like his game, but he's found a way since that game against the series opener against LA to get to net, get shots on net, and score effectively in the postseason, Ash.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I was kind of an Evander Kane. Like I thought his play over the last 2 years for the Oilers was really subpar. After that wrist injury, he was never able to replicate. The reason why we signed him to a 5x5. And that was something I was really concerned about. But man, oh man, I have never seen Evander Kane play like this. I have never, ever, ever in my life seen Evander Kane play like he wants it. And you know what? It's not just that he's taking shots, that he's like playing some body. He is getting back and playing defense. God, Evander Kane is playing defense, Avery. Dude, we are like the world is ending, everybody. Like it's over. Like we gotta pack it up.
And that was a big concern last year, was that Evander was not a very good defensive forward.
Yeah.
But we're seeing him now play a 200-foot game. It's refreshing.
Yeah, no, we're seeing every single Oiler buy in like we never ever have. And yes, we did see that for a lot during the last year's playoff run, but this is different. Last year, and every other year for the Oilers, when McDavid and Draisaitl are not on the ice, the Oilers get absolutely outshot, outscored, outchanced, like to hell, absolutely to hell. Right now, when McDavid and Draisaitl are not on the ice, we have a 64% goals share. We get 64% of the goals when they're on the ice. When the McDavid and two best players in the world are not on the ice, and we are unstoppable. We cannot be beat. It's over. It's like we are so chilling. Like
that is a scary thing. I was talking. It's funny. I was seeing on Twitter again. Empty Net's podcast, Dan and Chris, they're saying how it's so weird. They don't understand this team. This team is so hard to grasp because, yes, you want Connor Leon to be playing well, but when Connor Leon aren't playing well, everybody else steps up, and when Connor Leon do play well, the rest of the core is now stepping up. Like it's a team that makes no sense, and they might outlogic their way to a Cup final appearance once again. Like it feels like, I mean, yes, say they get past Vegas. Have either a Dallas or Winnipeg standing in front of you. No easy feat, but if they get this play again against the Jets or the Stars, they should be in good shape.
Yeah, and like McDavid and Draisaitl, yes, they farm the Kings. They absolutely farm those guys. But these are people who we know turn it up as the playoffs go on. Like it's not like these people are just like McDavid and Draisaitl are out here just like putting up 30 on the Kings and then dropping out for the rest of the series. McDavid and Draisaitl, both of them single-handedly won games for us last year. And I mean, there were times when they were doing that this year, but since Game 3 in LA, we've had a full team effort, and that's like, again, it's just so refreshing. We can't stop talking about how amazing it is.
No, it has been fun to watch, and you know what? I know people have been talking about it, they've been suggesting it, but you know what? I really feel if we get a Toronto Edmonton Cup final, this country is going to blow up.
I will literally. Okay, so I'm gonna be. So the Cup final runs in mid-June, right?
Yes.
I'm in Toronto in mid-June. I'm going to a Valorant Masters International. My favorite playing, and if it's an Oilers Toronto final, I'm gonna be in a fucking Toronto sports bar in the final. Dude. I will get in line at Maple. I will be the absolute mine when they win against that god.
Also, this is no offense to our team at Game Over Toronto. We love y'all. But I will say this much, though, that there will be a lot of heckling going back and forth between Edmonton and Toronto on the Game Over network. You get that as a Cup final.
Oh yeah, no, definitely no shade, guys. I love like I actually quite like the Maple Leafs, and I really hope that you take that Panthers team and you kill them. You get rid of them once and for all. You sink the city of Miami into the ocean. I really want you to get rid of them. But after that, like especially if it's us in the final, listen, no disrespect, full love. I'm going crazy. I'm going hard on you guys.
And it is kind of funny seeing multiple fan bases rallying around getting rid of the Florida Panthers. I've been on social. I'm seeing Leaf fans don't like the Panthers now. Oilers fans don't like them. Bruin fans want them gone.
Yeah.
For various reasons.
No, I think the Panthers are quite literally. I think it's in terms of like most disliked teams. It's the Golden Knights and the Panthers, and it's those two.
It is. I don't mind the Golden. You know, I don't mind the Golden Knights. I don't mind what they've done the past few years here. But man, just the Bennett thing, and then the Aaron Ekblad thing. Like Aaron Ekblad, suspended for 20 games for PEDs, and you know, great player. When he comes back and tries to just take down Brandon Hagel, like, come on, dude. I mean, you just got back from suspension.
It's the only way they know how to play. It's quite literally the only way they know how to play. These people are, they're just. I can't tell you how much I don't like them.
It is ridiculous, but you know what? I think the only people here, you know what though? If we can't get Edmonton, Toronto, Edmonton, Florida, you know, if you're ESPN or TNT, if you're TNT, can you imagine narratives from a Cup final of Edmonton and Washington, Ovi versus McDavid?
Oh my God! I think in terms of the NHL, what broadcasters want, I think like Oilers, and the Capitals. I think that's definitely your number one team. Ovi in one of his final years. Obviously, the Oilers for the Canadian draw. And I think out of the 4 teams left in the East, that's probably the team that is the biggest draw. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Panthers fans, nobody likes you. Nobody likes your team.
I mean, you know what? I'll give Toronto this much. It is the biggest market, and you do have Austin Matthews, American player on the biggest team in the country. Yeah. So I could see why that Toronto can be the draw of Austin Matthews against Connor McDavid. And I see Kay's comment here. I can't tell you how much I respect the Leafs making me cheer for a Brad Marchand goal.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude,
resent, not resent.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted, listen, like, trade deadline day, like, I can't remember whose tweet it was, but there was, like, a tweet, like a few minutes left in the day where it's, like, Brad Marchand, Western Canada, maybe, and I'm like, get him, and then, like, a minute later, Elliot Friedman's like, yeah, to the Panthers.
Yeah, it's funny because there was actual credence to Brad Marchand to Western Conference team. That wasn't just smoke and mirrors. Like, I had heard as well, like, Brad Marchand was legitimately in contention to go to the Western Conference.
No, definitely. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. Like he's not, because that would have been a really good deadline pickup. And listen, no hate to Frederick, but he is currently the 12th best Oilers forward, and I do think that if anyone's going to come out for Jeff Skinner, it would be him. And yeah, we did pay first for the double retention on the guy. I guess we didn't do our due diligence on how injured he was, but you know, whatever.
No, but you know what? Still got Jake Wallman though. And Jake Wallman has been wonderful.
Jake Wallman, the fact that we got him, especially when we did, is like so great.
Oh, it has been absolutely amazing. So, before we go, 7 o'clock, any final thoughts before we head off to the start of the game, Ash?
Um, Oilers win. It's gonna be like 19 to nothing. But Stuart Skinner's gonna give us a 90 save shutout, and Aiden Hill is not gonna record a single save. Guarantee. No, actually, I think the Oilers are gonna win. I think they're gonna go down 1-0 on a power play goal, and then I think they're gonna get a power play goal back, get an even strength one back, and they're gonna win the game like 4-2.
You know what? I will say Oilers win, but I will say they do strike first in this game. I do think Vegas responds quickly to tie the game up. But I do think this is another game where Aiden Hill looks shaky, and I didn't think it's going to be a game where it's going to be both Edmonton and Vegas trying to outscore their problems. So I will go Edmonton 6-4.
6-4. That's a wonderful score, Avery. I love that score.
Yes. So, with that being said, we're going to be back again at the intermission. Ash will be holding that intermission content. I'm going to try to come down for either the first or second intermission. And now we also have the traditional episode of Game Over Edmonton post-game. So, stick around, keep it locked to the Game Over Network channel, Edmonton's channel.
Yeah, no, we will. I mean, I'll see you after the first. Avery, you'll be here after the second?
Yes, we'll be the second, yes.
Perfect. And then we'll all be here for after the third, hopefully. No overtime. And if there is overtime, we get it. So we will see y'all then.
Yes. You know what?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Game Over Edmonton. Mic muted. Classic. One of the classic blunders. Right next to never get into a land war in Las Vegas. It is 2-2 after the first period. I am nervous. L is also nervous. I know that was from a little earlier, but no. I mean, I thought the Oilers were the better team. I think the Oilers have a lot of good to look at, but I think it is very, very, it's a little scary out there, I think. I think it is a little scary. I am definitely a bit worried. But overall, I'm quite happy with the period. It's 2-2. Corey Perry turning what? 39, turning 40 in like 5 days. I'm happy with that. A lot of scary stuff. Stuart Skinner, 2 goals against. I'm actually okay with how he performed. That first goal is very odd. It's very, very odd. But it's okay. It's fine. I think that yeah, he should have had both of those goals. He is definitely like he's definitely not playing like great. But both of these goals ultimately are not like his. I mean, okay, they're kind of his fault, but in terms of where like people I'm placing the blame on, Skinner is not number one on either of them. Leon Draisaitl on that first goal, just giving the puck away. Man, oh man, I am nervous about him. I am so nervous about him. It's kind of scary. It's extremely worrying for Oilers fans, for everybody. I don't know, like his left leg is looks completely immobile. He can't jump into plays. He can't activate as a shooter, as a passer. It looks like for him, like at least when he had the high ankle sprain, he could make passes. He could move into position. He could even take shots. But now it looks like it's like the entire like left side of his body can't exert pressure, which is a lot different from just being like unable to move like he was. It's affecting his play. And those 2 goals, the first one, it's a Draisaitl giveaway, and the second one, it's caught on a change on the top line. And then all of Vegas's best chances were when they were out. All of them were when it was McDavid and Draisaitl. They're not. I don't know. I don't think they're the worst line, but they are close to being the worst players in the Oilers tonight. I don't know if I've ever had to say that about Leon Draisaitl, but man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, I am very worried. The worst forward line though has got to be like Frederick Brown, Henrique. Connor Brown should not be playing on a line with Adam Henrique and Trent Frederick. I don't know. Like I just they got absolutely nothing going. They got I don't know, like there's just like that, at least with a line like Colson, Arvidsson, or McDavid, Draisaitl, like they have offense, they have upside, they have stuff that they're bringing to the table, but like they really aren't bringing anything from Frederick and Henrique. And I think Brown deserves better, especially given how well he's been playing. I really do think he deserves a lot better. And then you've got that, I mean, like that second goal. Yeah, I think Arvidsson, outside of this shift, Arvidsson, Picolson, great shift. Oh boy, man. Oh man, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. But Colson basically gets dangled exactly like Jack Eichel did on the overtime goal. And then it's Arvidsson does the exact same thing, just kind of lets him in, and Stuart Skinner gets caught in his like slow ass lateral movement. It's like, it's so concerning. It's so concerning to see. Now, I thought Skinner had some good saves, but his lateral movement is just so much slower than Pickard, and it is scary to watch. I think it's not even, it's like, before he can start moving side to side, he has to like push. Yeah, he literally has to take a second to arm himself. I don't think any goalie like does that as consistently as he does. Now, I'm not a goalie guy. I don't know anything about goalies. I don't know like if other goalies are doing that or they can just do it a lot faster. But Stuart Skinner takes so long to start moving sideways, and I don't get why he's so much slower than the rest of like the NHL. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I quite literally don't understand. And then, you know, the penalties. At first glance, the Kane penalty didn't look like one at all, but yes. He did hit him in the head. Now listen, I think that's a penalty 8 days of the week, but if I'm following the standard set by the NHL refs, that's not a penalty any days of the week, because they've never called a penalty like that in these playoffs. They just haven't. It's just not true. They quite literally on Sportsnet, they like 30 seconds ago they were showing highlights of Sam Bennett doing the exact same thing and nothing happens. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I don't get why it's so difficult for the NHL to call that consistently. But yes, you do see on the reverse angle, he does hit him in the head. What are you going to do? Okay. And then we do get a power play. We don't score on it, though. And it's kind of, it sucks. Like, it actually does. It sucks a lot. We get a crossbar. We get a lot of really good chances. Now, listen, the shots are like 9-4 for the Oh no, never mind. Corey. What am I talking about? Corey Perry does score on that one. I thought for some reason that was an even strength goal. Thank you, Corey Perry. And look, and by the way, I was gonna mention this, but I thought it was 5-on-5. But it's a power play goal assisted by who? It's Bouchard, obviously, and Nugent Hopkins. What have I been saying? Actually, what have I been saying this entire time? In order for the Oilers power play to start clicking, they have to activate Nugent Hopkins on the power play. What do? They activate him and they score. It literally is that simple. Why can't they do it on the road? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, everybody. I am very... It doesn't make any sense why Nugent Hopkins, for some reason, can only activate on the power play when he is away from... or when he's at home. Like, why can't he do it on the road? And speaking of penalties, Nick Wahl scores that first goal when he should be suspended. And you know who else is in this game? It's Brayden McNabb, who I saw some people. I mean, I think I saw this from Mark Spector. Now, Mark Spector, but like, yes, he's Mark Spector, but I did actually like his take where he said that that Brayden McNabb being out for this game, and Vegas probably argued that Arvidsson didn't get a call or even a fine for that. Probably like, oh, well, you know, that's kind of not fair. But, you know, Brayden McNabb is in this game. He didn't get injured. He's fine. Like, and it's Wahl that scores, who should be suspended. I don't know, man. It doesn't, like, it's... it's a joke both ways. Arvidsson should have got called for that penalty, but Wahl should not be in this game. It's just always a joke all the time. It really upsets. It really upsets me, man. So like, that's 2 goals that are just complete defensive breakdowns from the forwards, not the defense, by the way. Not the defense. In fact, on that first goal, that Wahl goal, Nurse actually, he does his signature slide, but he does like a good job before it like Skinner lost the puck on the rebound and yada yada yada. But it's forwards, it's Draisaitl's giveaway, and it's Podkolzin and Arvidsson just like telling Riley Smith, here you go. You can have it. You can skate directly to the net. Don't worry, I won't get in your way. So defensive breakdowns from Oilers forwards, but the shots are 9-6. Don't let that deceive you. The Oilers were the better team, and they had a lot better chances. I mean, Draisaitl hits the post. There's a lot of shot attempts that either miss the net. Zach Hyman, right after that first goal, just goes over the crossbar. A lot of like loose pucks the Oilers just can't bury. I mean, they never bury them, but it's still good offense, even if they don't score there. The period did start out slow. Even as it like started to pick up, I don't know. I am the Oilers are the better team in the first period, which never happens. It's tied. They don't. It's not a comeback yet. So maybe we spot Vegas the first goal in the second, and then we come back. But we know our second and our third periods are significantly better. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping. I mean, obviously that's what I'm hoping to see. But I do think that like we will get better play from everybody, including Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner gives up a lot of easy goals at the start of a game, but he does lock in. Now, he's no Grant Fuhr, but Grant Fuhr did play like that too, you know? Like, yeah, he might let in 5, but you are sure as hell not getting that 6. Stuart Skinner kind of shades of Grant Fuhr, kind of like a little bit like that, you know? But I do think the Oilers, it's a period they're going to take. It's 2-2. I guess we're like, I mean, if they score 2 goals, it's 4-2. But I think we're definitely kind of on course for Avery's 6-4 prediction. I think that's definitely like way more likely. But overall, I mean, I just want to see. I want to see Draisaitl healthy. I don't know if like we have to play him like less or if he needs to sit a game out. I don't know what he needs in order to be a better player, in order to be healthier. I don't want to have to risk Draisaitl in the second round again. Look what happened against Vegas 2023. Look what happened Vancouver 2024 and like game 1 of Dallas last year. I don't want to have to sacrifice Draisaitl, and it looks like if his like injury or his play doesn't improve, that we might have to go most of our playoffs without Leon Draisaitl, being playoff Leon Draisaitl, who up to this point in his career is like a top 3, top 5 point getter per game of all time, next to only who? Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. Like, that's a big hit. And man, I really do think Trent Frederick should come out for Jeff Skinner. Like I really do. I do think so. You know what? I mean, I don't think they'll pull out Henrique, but even Henrique, if it like would be a better option. To be fair, is only if you can play Draisaitl center, and then you go like McDavid, Draisaitl, Hopkins, Janmark, which obviously is not very likely, but that's kind of I don't know. That's my read on it. With about a minute before the period starts, if you have any idea, any comments, any questions in chat, hammer them out right now. But I don't know. I'm predicting a faster period, and I'm predicting an Oilers period. I don't know. I just that right now our best line is our second line of Kane, Hyman, Hopkins. Like it's really that line that's just significantly better than everybody else. I don't know. That's all I got for you. Enjoy the second period, and I will be back here with Avery as the two of us will be hosting the second intermission breakdown. I will see you all at the end of the period. we fell for one of the classic blunders yet again. Never get into a land war in the Nevada desert, and make sure your mic is unmuted.
Yeah,
I had that problem in the first two for only a little bit.
Our apologies here from Match Pub Eatery downtown Edmonton. We were saying while our mics were actually turned off that yes, it was a very passive second period for the Edmonton Oilers, and it feels like right now between Vegas and Edmonton, neither one of these teams, Ash, wants to make a mistake right now.
No, definitely. And I think the Vegas Golden Knights, they are, I don't know, like they're like you said, both extremely passive. Like we were saying, apparently only to ourselves though, that like the Oilers only really have one line going, and it's the line with Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, and Kane. And yes, McDavid was put on with Hyman and Hopkins at the 2 minutes left to go, and that was the best that McDavid had looked all night. And he looked really good playing aggressive on the power play, the penalty kill, sorry. But, like, this was an extremely passive period from both teams. Yes, Vegas is up one. And, yes, it is a goal where Stuart Skinner probably should have had it. But he's also not the number one guy to blame.
No, exactly. And we've seen right now with the Oilers team defensively, too many mistakes in the neutral zone, too many careless passes. While, yes, you do want to make better saves, the guys in front of him have to be careful with the puck more against the Golden Knights team.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just like we know the Oilers play more confident in front of Calvin Pickard instead of Stuart Skinner. We know Stuart Skinner is going to let in some clunkers. But, like, this line change is terrible. Jan Mark makes a terrible play, but he's tired as hell. But it's a terrible line change. And Darnell Nurse, my God, this guy. Like, that's another goal. I think he's been on the ice for 2 goals now. Out of the 3, and 2 of them, he just lies on the ground and does nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's the only thing he can do is use his large wingspan to make snow angels on the ice. I don't get it.
The good old-fashioned starfish, a Chris Russell special.
Literally, press L1, L2 on the controller. That's L1, R1. It's the only. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, he legitimately looks like near unplayable. And you know who else kind of looks basically unplayable? I think it's Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, it hasn't been Leon's best game tonight. And we see on the power play. One thing that we're seeing right now Vegas doing is they're cutting off that cross-ice pass. Right now, Edmonton's power play, once again, yes, they got the first goal with Corey Perry, but they're falling back into being far too predictable with that pass. You got to go to plan B and plan C now.
Yeah, and part of that is the fact that right now, Leon Draisaitl cannot move. He can't do anything, really. All he can do is stand there. You know who is usually? It's usually McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard all skating around, all making passes so they can find a good look. But Draisaitl can't do any of that. You know who got the second most puck touches on the Oilers power play? It was Nugent Hopkins, right?
Yeah, and when you have someone like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, like that's a guy that Oilers fans have wanted to step up all season long, wanted to do a little bit more. When he's stepping up now, that should be a sign, hey, we have to do more because he's a leader. He's someone who is taking it upon himself to create chances in that period, Ash.
Yeah, and I do think the Oilers power play, the one that didn't score, was still a decent power play, but you can see how much the Draisaitl injury just takes away so many options. I thought they had some good chances, even when they did go for the cross ice, even though he's still very weak. But man, dude, like Leon Draisaitl being tired, injured, and out there for a minute and a half is what leads to that third goal against. It's not even like during the 2023 series against Calgary where he couldn't skate, but he could at least move his upper body, get into the position, and play the puck. He cannot play the puck right now. He looks like he is scared to have anything touch the entire left side of the body.
And you know, the thing right now is that you have to trust in Skinner right now because you cannot put Olivier Rodriguez in, but granted, I do think Skinner finds a way to figure it out. I mean, we saw him make some big saves in that period, though. Like, Stewart did have some big saves, so credit where credit is due. It's a matter of just now focusing in and making the better saves on those softies, the so-called soft ones that get past.
Yeah, and I do agree that Stuart Skinner made some pretty big saves. This, if it wasn't for him, making those saves, this would obviously be a much worse game. And yes, again, they are softies, but I will say that he is. I don't know if I'm looking at a goaltender and being like, we got to pull you out, or we got to like, we are extremely worried. It's, are you the guy that's most to blame for these goals? And on Stuart Skinner, yeah, he shares some of the blame, but in that period, for example, it's Janmark and it's Draisaitl that, to me, and Darnell Nurse that share much more of the blame before Stuart Skinner.
Yeah, no, exactly. And there are sequences that could have easily turned into a pass being broken up and a shot not getting on net, because we've seen before. This team has been hyper aware in front of Stuart Skinner, and he in turn has been doing his best. So you can't, if this team were to go down, you cannot put all the blame on Stuart Skinner tonight.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, I'm not saying that, I said this earlier, but it's not that he's Grant Fuhr. But it is shades of Grant Fuhr. He'll let in the fifth, but he will not let in that sixth. Skinner does get better noticeably throughout the periods. We know that he has he can make clutch saves in the third period, even when he lets in softies in the first.
Yeah, and right now it's a matter of, like, you're right. It's really right now a matter of just make the last save. You're not asking Stuart Skinner to, again, be prime dominant cash. You just need him to make the save when it matters going into the third period.
Yeah, definitely. And I think really, like, if you're like from the Oilers' perspective, these Golden Knights are playing very passively. Like, yeah, they have more shots. They have, they're getting more chances. But that's really because I think the Oilers are, they're a bit behind on their step. A lot of their lines just don't look very good right now. Like again, McDavid and Corey Perry are really struggling when Leon Draisaitl's on the ice.
Yeah, it wasn't expected. I mean, after those first two goals, you thought, okay, now it's going to come together. This game could have easily been 3 or 4-0 for Edmonton, and it just hasn't clicked beyond that first period.
Yeah, definitely. And there are good chances that the Oilers have. And I think going into the third period, like Kay is saying, you kind of just got to tell Stuart Skinner that it's like a 60-minute third period. But he does play a good third period, and so I think we can rely on that. But we really, really, really need, and I think honestly, if I'm Chris Knobloch, what do? I go McDavid, Hyman, Hopkins, and I think I go. I don't know. I think I maybe sit Dry for a bit. Not because I think he's a bad player or he's not giving his all. It's clear that he can't, because we know that Draisaitl is quite literally top 5, top 3 all time in playoffs, like points per game, or era just or whatever you want. But he's really scared about like causing some serious damage to his body, and I'm scared watching it. It makes me scared that he's out there all this time, and I think that Knobloch is I going to that Hyman Hopkins line at the end of the period. I think he knows.
And you know what, though? Now, granted, this is the team, again, Edmonton is the comeback kings. This is the team where being up one Oilers doesn't feel like a comfortable spot. They can certainly come back for a 7th time in a row.
Oh, definitely. No, I mean, like 2-2 is basically a tie game. This game is 1-0 right now. I highly think that that the Oilers are able to like pull away from this. I just think that it's gonna have to take some line mixing. I really think we're going to need to activate some of these forward lines, because right now, yeah, we have a deep team, but only one of them is really activated. So what do you think? How would you like to see these lines moved around for the third period, and if at all?
Man, I wouldn't change too much, but I would, for a shift or two, I would look at considering benching Dry for a shift or two, just to reset him. Take the shift off, Leon. Gets one double shifted there just for a shift. Let's get his mind refocused, because we have seen in the past Leon Draisaitl has been banned for a shift or two, and he's responded to the challenge of having to be better before into Chris Knobloch.
Yeah, what was that game earlier this season? I think the Oilers end up winning it in overtime because Leon Draisaitl gets benched during the game. Do you remember this?
I do, yes.
Right? Like, we know that Draisaitl can turn it up after a bit of a break. Now, I think, I think that, like, even if you want to keep, I think you go McDavid, Draisaitl, and someone like Zach Hyman, someone like Connor Brown, actually. I think if you want to keep Hyman, Hopkins, Kane together, which is our only successful line, I think you put Connor Brown on the top line. And why? McDavid right now is the only mobile forward on that top line. Corey Perry is not that much of a mobile forward, just because he's a slow skater. He's almost 40. So I think McDavid has no space out there. He has no one to all the gravity's on him. There's no reason for the Golden Knights to move around anywhere. So I think someone like Connor Brown, some kind of fast skater, is going to do wonders for that line. That's what I would like to see.
You're not wrong. We've seen Connor Brown thrive beforehand in the top 6, especially when it comes to the postseason. So maybe, why not reward Connor Brown with that and throw Vegas a different look right now going into the third period?
Yeah, and I also think that that would also be good for Brown, because I think that the Henrique and Frederick line is not doing very well. They're not really doing anything at all. And so I think that maybe putting Corey Perry on that line, or maybe putting Corey Perry on the fourth line and moving up Arvidsson or Colson or Janmark or just anything like that. I think elevating Connor Brown is the right decision given Draisaitl's injury.
Yeah, no, I think it is. And that's the thing with Leon Draisaitl. He is someone where, man, I said before, he'll never tell you something is wrong. He will never tell you he's banged up. But, man, the wear and tear on Leon can get to him sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like we keep saying, it's good that the Oilers are in this game. They are dominating this series with Leon Draisaitl in this state. But a Leon Draisaitl in this state is no place to be in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
No, and you know what though? The good thing is that if Edmonton doesn't win tonight, you're still up 2-1. You still have a chance again to put Edmonton on the rope, Vegas on the ropes on Monday night.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when you look at Vegas, something to consider is that Mark Stone has been out.
Yes.
He left in the first period, and he has not returned.
No, that is a big loss for Vegas, no matter if you're up or down. So we're going to monitor that, and we'll try and see what the news is with Mark Stone, most likely post-game.
Yeah, so that kind of concludes our intermission segment. So me and Avry will see you in the post-game Game Over Edmonton show. I think the Oilers are going to have a really good third period, and I really hope Knobloch makes those adjustments. Any last words?
Last word. This game isn't over yet. This game is far from done. I'll say that much.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you, journalism. Go Corey Perry. He is definitely dude's gonna turn 40, and I think he blew, can't remember who it was, but it was someone who was 33 years old for a multi-goal game in the Cup playoffs. Just what an absolute player. We'll see y'all at the end of the period.